Thank you, remind me. Okay. The reminder, a conditional probability is some condition have to met first. And whatever the condition met first is the thing that follow the word southwest. So, I mean, follow the word given. So given this thing here, this problem here, as you can see, we are focusing in what follow the word given, which is in this case, we are looking for the southwest region, right? How many city is located in the southwest region? We don't care about the under the 50,000. We care about the southwest region because that's the first condition that we have to met, which is in this case, everybody see that again, how many or what are we extracting out? We need to extract out the 110 city, right? This is the 110 store, I should say, located in the southwest region. Now, out of this 110, how many of them are under the population of 50,000, which is in terms of this thing here, that's what we have, which is 11 over the total. So one thing about the conditional probability is we are no longer deal with the grand total. We are no longer deal with the 385. That's your grand total. That's how many stores we have. We never deal with those. We are only deal with the condition that they tell us to take out, okay? And what condition we need to take out? Well, the condition follow the word given. And again, in this sense, or in this case, we divide, this is what we have is 0.1, okay? And if you did the homework over the weekend, sometimes they give you, or sometimes they write it like this, which is given that the store is located in the northwest. Again, that is your condition. That is what you need to meet first, right? We need to know how many stores are in a northeast region, which is, do you agree that there are 125 in a northeast region? Now, out of that 125 only, we don't care about the other one. We don't care about southwest, southeast, and northwest. We only care about northeast, which is again 125. Out of the 125, how many of them have over the population of 500,000, right? Which is out of that will give me 55, which is again, to find this conditional probability, we have 55 divided by 125. Therefore, the answer will be 0.44. So now, again, I think I have a few problems with the conditional probability, but let me ask you guys with this 3 problem, question on where my answer come from, or question on where the keyword that we need to looking for. All right. If you don't have question, let's take a look at this thing here, which is again, same definition, same problem. And I think this is where we stopped last time, or this is where we did not cover last time, right? So looking at this thing here, if you read this thing here, you say given, well, that you should pause right there and tell yourself that, well, that's the keyword given, right? And the word given tell us that we need to extract something. We need to take something out, which is they say, given the store is located in northwest. Now you ask yourself, well, that's my cue. I need to looking for how many store is in the northwest region, which is everybody say that there are 54 store in the northwest region, right? So looking at this thing here, this is what we have. We have 54 store in the northwest region. Those are the store that we're looking for. We don't care about any of the other region. We only care about the northwest, right? Now, what is that's the condition that is met. Now, what is the other criteria, or what is your numerator? Your numerator is find the probability, or what is the probability that it is located in a city, a population of less than 500,000 or less, right? So looking at this thing here, do you agree that this people or this store are located in a region or in a city of 500,000 or less, right? It's between 50,000 and 500,000, right? And again, do you, wrong number. It's the 12, not the 32. disregard this circle. This circle is supposed to be up here, ladies and gentlemen. I added and I forgot to move it up here. It's supposed to be the 12. Do you agree that the 12 is under the 500,000 and this item is under the 500,000? So it's not the 10 and the 32, but it's the 12 and the 10. Okay, let me sorry about that. All right. So again, let's go back to this thing here. So that fit our item, which is, do you agree that these two items fit the description that is under the population? Again, last time they only give us one description. This time, because they give us 500,000 or less, that's why we have to include this item too. This item is also less than 500,000. So it's not just the 10 and it's not just the 12 by itself, but these two together make up the item that is less than 500,000, right? If they say 50, if they say less than 50,000, then we only use the 12, okay, or under 50,000, okay? So again, question with this G, how I got or how we derive to this answer here. So let me ask you, if you guys have not, look at this slide on Canvas, see if you guys can solve H. See if you guys can identify what is your new numerator or what is your new total, and what is your denominator and what will be your answer. See if you can see or solve H, and then we will go over in a little bit. So what is our denominator, ladies and gentlemen? Again, hopefully you guys see that the word given is here, and they say given that the store is located in a city with a population of 500 or less. So because of this description, they have multiple items. Everybody agree that this two total, those are the two total of the store that locate in a 500,000 or less populated city, right? Population city, right? Again, because we have to know what fit the description that they asked us to take out. And in this case, there are two items that fit the description of under, of 500 or under, right? 500,000 or under. So in this case, that's your new denominator, which is you take the 69 plus the 187. And now out of that, which is again, out of that, do you agree that this is the two items that locate in the Northeast, right? The 25 and the 45, which is, if you look at that, which is, this is what we have is my new denominator, my new total will give me 256. And again, the denominator that fit in the Northwest region, who is also under the population of that, which is fit 70. And again, which is, if you divide them, you get 0.2734. And again, hopefully you guys see that the difference between G and H, right? And this is what I told my student, imagine that this, your vertical line here, this vertical line meaning given, right? Find the probability of 500,000 or less given that is located in the Northwest region. So if you take this thing and if you turn it clockwise, everybody see that the Northwest, that is on the denominator, right? If you take this and you turn it clockwise like this, you see that Northwest is on the bottom, that is your new denominator. Okay, and that's why up here is only 54. If you take this and you turn it clockwise, sorry, this is Northeast, it's not Northwest. Hopefully it's NE, not NE, not NW. Everything is right, it's just the notation is wrong. But if you turn this way, everybody see that 500 or less is on the denominator, and that's why the denominator here is 250, 256. Okay. So similarly, let's do one more here, which is again, given that the store located in a north. So looking at this thing here, because they say in the north, which is either northeast or northwest, right? As long as it fits the description of the north, then it's located in the north. Okay, so make sure that this thing here, the first thing we need to do, or the first thing we need to have, is we need to take out all of the store located in the north. And now, once you see this thing here, they ask us is, what is the probability that the population of 50 or more? So in this case, do you agree that this is what we have is, again, this is northwest and this is northeast, which is, again, we have those on my new denominator. And once we have that, which item is less, 500, the 50,000 or more, is the 12, it's not the 12 guy, it's the 32. I small edit wrong in terms of that. But again, it is the 45, the 10, the 55, and the 32. The circle, disregard this circle. The circle is out here. I forgot to add other circle. But again, you add those numbers to give you the numerator. You add the 125 and the 54 to give you the denominator, and then you divide them to give you 0.7932. Question with this conditional probability. Let's review. Let me ask you. Let's go to this thing here. Let's go to this thing here, and then see if we can have a little bit better a better understanding of this thing here, and then we'll go back to the next item. So let's take a look at what we did last time in terms of this thing here. I'll go back to that. So let's go back to this item here. Let's say that I have this new data. All right. So the first two things that we did last time and today was we have a simple probability, which is in general, what is the probability of something, just one item. Or we have a compound probability, which is the word or. And then we have a conditional probability, which is the word given, right? So far, those are the only thing that we have that we cover, right? So looking at this thing here, this is one thing I want to point out. And if you look at, or if you watch my other video, one thing is, this is what you want to, when you read an item, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, how many items am I selecting? How many people am I selecting? If I select only one person or one item, then most of the time it's going to be either a simple probability or a mutually exclusive, which is you just add them up and divide by the total. Or if it's a word given, then it's a conditional probability. If you select multiple items, multiple people, then it will be a independent or dependent item, which is if you select multiple items or multiple people, you will multiply. Okay, but let's take a look at this thing here. Let's say that this is the data, which is, let's say that I have a class, right? My class, I have male and female, and this is the age group, right? My age group is 18 to 23, so on and so forth, which is, again, most of your Connect map, they probably ask you something like this. And reminder, you have to find the total of your male. How many male total do we have? How many female we have, which is you add straight across. And then if you add the two total, you know that there are 30 people in this class, right? And vice versa, we want to find the total of the age group of 18 to 23, 24 to 24 to 29, and so on and so forth. And again, if you add 7, 5, 7, 4, 3, 4, 434, you should get 32. This is your total. This is your grand total, which is in this class, we have 30. Question? All right. So let's take a look at number one, right? Number one, this is what they ask you is find the probability that a person is a male. So we only select one person. What is the probability of this person is a male, which is, do you agree that this is just a simple probability? And if you agree that it's a simple probability, all you ask yourself is now, in this class, in this data, how many male do I have? Which is, as you can see, in this data, do you agree that I have 11 male, right? I have 11 male out of the total of 30, right? Which is, in this case, do you agree that this is a simple probability, which is the probability of male is 11 over 30, which is, if I divide this, I will get 0.36. I think it's like 0.36666, but it's 0.367, right? So again, it's just simple because you go in here, what is the probability of you select a male, which is, we have 11 over 30, just a simple probability. Now, looking at this thing here, what do we have in terms of the second item? Well, the second item they ask you is, again, what is the probability of this person that we will select is in the age group of 42 to 47, which is, do you agree that in 42, how many people is in the age group of 42 to 47? Do you agree that this is what I have? I have 3 over the total, which is, in this case, do you agree that it's going to give me 0.1? 3 divided by 30 will give me 0.1, which is, again, why is simple probability? Because they only ask you for one criteria and one criteria only, right? Now, one thing is later on today, you will see me mention about this. And ladies and gentlemen, please distinguish this word and later on the word and that we mentioned later on in our lecture. This word and, reminder, how many people are we selecting? We select only one person, right? Because we select one person, this is what you need to know is this word and is in the sense that is and also, meaning, again, I'm selecting one person. What's the probability of this person is a female, and also this female is in the age group of 42 through 47. So this word and here is not and then. It's not that you select one person is a female and then you go back and select another person in the age group of 42 to 47. Okay, so this and right here, hopefully you see that we select one person. What is the probability of this person is a female and also in the age group of 42 to 47. So it's kind of like a specific, it's like a specific category, right? Meaning this category is not just a female only, it's not just a group of 42 to 47 only. This group have to be a female who is also in this age group, which is everybody see that there's only one female who in the age group of 42 to 47. And that's this word and right here tell you that, again, we are looking for that specific female. Not that we go in and select a female and then we go and select another one. This one here, we select only one person and one person only. Therefore, this one here, this and recognize or verify that it's only a combination of the two, right? The intersection of the two, which is, again, how many female who are in the age group of 42 to 47, which is I have 1 over the total, which is 1 over 30, which is in this case, I have, if I divide this, I have 0.0333, okay? Right now, you haven't seen the other and yet, unless you watch the video that I posted last time. But again, later on, you will see the word and I will mention in a bit, okay? Similarly, looking at this thing here, which is for number 4, they ask you, find the probability that person is under the age group of 36. So again, under the age group of 36, do you agree that these people do you agree that these people right here is under the age group of 36? I have 7 of them in this age group. I have 5 of them in this age group, and I have 7 of them in this age group. Do you agree that this 3 group, or the group of people, doesn't matter male or female, this is the 3 group that is under the age of 36? Which is, again, to find this thing here, how many people under the age of 36? If you take the 7 plus the 5 plus the 7, you will get 19, right? Divide by the total, which is 30. And in this case, if you divide them, you will get 0.633, which is the probability of me going here, select one person, and this person is under the age of 36 is roughly 63.3%, okay, or 0.633. Okay, so again, in the way for 4, like I mentioned, in the way 4 is like a compound probability of compound event. It's just that the way that they write it is a simple event, in the sense that we're just looking for the people who under the age group of 36. Now they can tell you, like, find the probability of the person who in the age group of 18 to 23, or 24 to 29, or 30 to 35, right? It's the same question in that case. First of all, question with number 1, 2, 3, and 4 here, which is a simple probability, in the way that you're looking for, you ask yourself, what are you looking for? Whatever you're looking for, you put it over the total. Question with this 4 item. Why is it so hard for me to erase? All right. If you don't have question with that, let's take a look at the next item that you have, which is, if you read this thing here, you should identify, oh, we have the word or, right? We have the word or, we select one person, and we have the word or, which is we have a compound event. What is the compound event? This is what they ask you is, they ask you, what is the probability of you select, what is the probability of you select one person, and that person is in the age group of 24 to 29, or in the age group of 42 to 47, which is, everybody see that this is the 2 age group that they ask us, between 24 to 29, or 42 to 47. So looking at this thing here, reminder, this is what you ask yourself, or this is what I told you guys last time, is, do I have one person, one particular person, who is 24 to 29 and also 42 to 47? Which is, if you look at this thing here, there are no one fit both description at one, right? You either 24 to 29 or 42 to 47. You never can be 24 to 29 and also 42 to 47. So as you can see, the 2 items does not intersect, does not cross each other. So we know that this is a mutually exclusive event. Why is mutually exclusive event? Because the 2 condition, or the 2 criteria, the 2 item does not have anything in common. They do not have anything in common, so they are mutually exclusive. And if you recognize that they are mutually exclusive, all you need to do is take the first group plus the second group, and then you find the probability of the first group, which is the probability of first group is how many 24 to 29, which is, again, we have 5 over 30. How many between 42 to 47? We have 3 over 30. You add them up and you call it a day, or in terms of this, you have to divide, which is, again, you add them up, you have 8 people in either the age group of 24 to 29 or 42 to 47, divide by 30, which is you have 0.267. And let's take a look at what is the difference between number 6. What is the difference between number 6 versus number 7? If you look at number 7, you say, oh, Mr. Tran, is the same word that we see, the word or. And now, but they ask you in the age group of 24 to 29 or a male. Everybody see that the male item is right here, right? Everybody see that this is my age group of 24 to 29, and this is my male item, which is, again, looking at that, everybody see that there are an overlapping. There are two people who are in both items, which is who are in 24 to 29 and also a male. Meaning because they cross each other, because they overlap, ladies and gentlemen, this is not mutually exclusive. They have something in common, so they are not mutually exclusive. And if they are not mutually exclusive, you have to take the probability of the first one. You have to take the probability of the first one, add the probability of the second one, and minus what they have in common, which is, everybody see the probability of the age group of 24 to 29 is the same, 5 over 30. The probability of a male is I have 11 over 30, and I have to subtract what they have in common. I have to subtract where they intersect, which is 2 over 30, which is, in this case, I have 14 over 30, which gives me 0.467. Question with why in number 6 we have to subtract, and why number 5 we just add them and call it a day. Question on any of the first 6 problems. All right. If you don't have question, let me ask you guys, is number 7 mutually exclusive event or not mutually exclusive event? Again, as you can see, this is what they ask us is, if you read this thing here, you recognize that, again, we all deal with the word or, which is we're looking for female and between the age group of 48 to 53, which is, as you can see, hopefully you guys type that they are not mutually exclusive, because this two group, they intersect somewhere, which is, again, where do they intersect? As you can see, they intersect at this item here, which is, again, they intersect at number 3, which is, again, there are some people fit both description. There are some people who are a female and also in the age group of 48 to 53. Which is, if you recognize that they are intersect, now this is what we have, which is, again, we find the probability of the first one, which is how many female, which is 19 over 30, plus how many in the age group of 48 to 53, which is 4 over 30, minus how many specifically a female and in that age group, which is 3. And again, this is what we have, which is 0.667. So again, in the sense of this thing here, we did this last time. Hopefully this time around, the second time around, you can see, recognize when is a mutually exclusive event